Well, don't do that. I mean, it's fine, but okay. And Zoom people can hear things. Yes. Okay, everyone. Hello. Okay, sweet. Let's do stuff.
Yeah.
Our top five is our top five. They're just continuously killing it.
Look at that.
We got all our
I
same people. I know the Boyles and then the whole.
wish they weren't so lazy.
Yeah, I know, right? If they'd wake up before 9 AM, you know, they'd probably do better.
Good.
And then we have our teams killing it. Yeah. So I added another slide for Chelan, Douglas, and Okanogan County, just so we can see new listings and back on market and pending and all the stuff. And then going forward, I'm going to save this one and then put the new week so we can kind of see what's happening. So,
Yeah, 65 pending sales and 56 price reduction.
yeah, price reductions are, it's fine. Everything's fine. Yeah. New listings. How cute is the dinosaur? I'm like overly excited about the dinosaur. So yeah, this is new listings for the last 7 days, which I think I did not select Okanogan County on that one. Oh no, I just went to the brokerage. So that is correct. Correct myself. And then we have our closings. Oh, Kelly you didn't update the slide. You always update this one.
I did update it,
Well, no, this is the same as last week. It's double.
because I had updated it and there,
We'll figure it out.
the gremlins messed up again.
Ignore the
I did
doubles.
it yesterday.
Yeah, it's just doubled. So maybe we just delete one of these. You know, we haven't had technical issues in about 2 weeks, so
I
we were
know.
probably due for a couple things. So
Good.
That's fine, because I updated
You
it
wanna-
yesterday.
you want to say stuff for maybe like
Hey, what?
3 minutes or
You
something?
know what, this has been with me since 1989, this exact thing.
And I thought, what you were just doing, it makes perfect sense as I read this to you guys, because this is the key.
This is the absolute key to financial freedom.
To happiness.
To love, everything.
It's right here in the palm of my hand. You guys, you ever heard of the quote about persistence? I post it all the time, but let me read it to you. Nothing in the world can take the place of persistence. Talent will not. Nothing is more common than unsuccessful, I'll say people, it says more, but people with talent. Look at how progressive I'm becoming. Very good. Genius will not. Unrewarded genius is almost a proverb. Education will not. The world is full of educated derelicts. Persistence and determination alone are omnipotent. What does that tell you guys? Grind and grind and grind and grind. Remember last week I talked about the difference between I got to go to work, I got to go to the listing appointment, I got to go, blah, 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 versus I get to go get a listing, I get to go to the office and work, I get to be able to do these things that only a few people in the world get to do, and that's have freedom in your day. Because at the core of what we do is work for ourselves. And that comes with a challenge. And the challenge is, generally speaking, about discipline. So I wanted to ask you a couple things. I wanted to get your opinion on a couple things. Like, how many people ever feel uncertain about their future?
Everybody.
And how many, like on a scale of 1 to 10, when you feel uncertain about a deal or about your future or about, like, it can be little things or big things. When do you feel anxiety when that happens? Is that something that kind of gets you like, in the middle of the night? I know for me, I don't know if you guys know this, I have a condition. I was actually diagnosed, probably a lot of.
Sorry.
I couldn't sleep for like 20 years. So I asked all these doctors, I went to all these doctors and I said, why can't I sleep? And they said, well, you have this weird condition. And I go, what is the condition? And they made a big long word for it. And all it really means, and I think a lot of us have it, we just don't go to 20 doctors to try to figure it out like I did. It just means I try to predict the future in my sleep. I dream about deals, investments, deals, buyers and sellers. I try to predict what they're, and I do it subconsciously. And the challenge of that is I dream in the worst case scenario. So what's good about that is I see possible futures, and sometimes when I wake up in the middle of the night, I write down those possible outcomes, and that typically has given me a chance to prepare for things I may not have been prepared for by having those subconscious dreams. The downside is I'm working 24 hours a day. Now I've come to work with that and use some drugs to sleep, and exercise and eating better always helps that. So my point of talking about that is I want us to all be really, really clear on the fact that stress, anxiety, procrastination, fear, uncertainty is all normal. I think sometimes we think that it's not normal because we're in this business that gives us such great rewards potentially and great freedom. But guess what? You work at a bank 9 to 5. You still have those same feelings.
Yes, you do.
You just don't have the freedom to change anything. During COVID, I remember my whole career, especially, over the years, a lot of agents have had friends and family tell them to get a real job. Get paid for time. It's more secure. It's less risky. But guess what happened when the world locked down in COVID? We weren't designated as non-essential for one, and we were able to keep making money. In fact, making more money. When many people got destroyed financially because they were told they can no longer work, or they had to quit because they didn't want a vaccine, or all of a sudden maybe our job as a self-employed person is not as risky relative to other jobs as we might think. So what I'm curious about is, how do you guys handle uncertainty? Anybody? Like, what do you think about? Lauren, what do you think about?
First of all, I try to identify the things that are certain, right? I have people in my life that love and care for me, and those folks are certain. Those are those are my rock. And you go from there, right? So you focus on what is certain, and that can help you get over some of the uncertainty. Yep, gratitude.
That's an anchor. Because here's the thing, our mind will pull us in all these directions that make no sense, and we'll stress about stuff that never will happen. Here's another thing I think about. What's the worst case scenario? Am I gonna be living in a cave in Afghanistan the next week? Getting shelled by the Ruskies?
Nope, probably not.
Of course there's bad things that can happen, but our mind tends to play these tricks on us that says the worst case, my whole life is going to be ruined. If I lose this deal, this person yelled at me, that person yelled at me. This morning I missed an appointment with Kyle and Jeff. Totally blew it up, missed it. Should I be upset about that? Probably. Am I upset about that? I can't change it.
Apologize.
I feel bad. I mean, I said I'm sorry, and then it's over.
Yes, okay,
It's
clear
over.
a lot.
The mistakes that I make, and God, I make a lot. And I made some. There's no, he's known me a long time. I make really good mistakes, big ones.
Go big or go home, Russ.
Bigger.
Right?
And here's the thing. The reason that I've been able to survive emotionally and continue to try to help people and continue to do good work is I don't dwell on the bad work. I don't dwell on the mistakes. The human mistakes I make, where there's, things you're never going to be proud of, or just deals that collapse, or, whatever it is, it's over. And in this business, it's important to let it go. Do not overthink things. Because what happens to you does not define you. What defines you? If that doesn't define you, what does define you? If there's a tragedy, if there's a mistake, if I screwed up, I forgot to tell my buyer the inspection timeframe's out and they can't do anything about their listing now. And they're like, whoa, Wait a minute, that was your job.
What do you do with it going forward? What do you learn?
And I want out of this deal. And I got 50 grand in earnest money on the line. That's us. That shouldn't define you. What defines you after that, right? What do you do next? Embrace the suck and make it your friend. And when you do that, you're invincible. Because nobody can intimidate you. We're all in this soup together. None of us are better than anybody else. And so if you always remember that being persistent, flushing the bad, go to neutral thinking like we talked about last week, go from the negative mindset to a neutral mindset. That's all you have to do first. I had a negative mindset. Damn, I forgot an appointment this morning. All right, next, I'm neutral. Next, I'm over it. That fast. Doesn't do me any good, right? In this business, if you flush the bad, redefine yourself every day. Do not worry about the mistakes. Do not worry about where you once were. Just continue to focus on the next step and let go of the past. Let it go.
I think they say like, give yourself 5 minutes to be like sad or what, and then you're done.
Yeah, I mean, I
Doesn't serve you after that.
apologize,
Mhm.
you know? Damn. That sucks. I tell people that. Freaking realtors. What I say all the time. I make fun of myself all the time. I just want to know because uncertainty right now is going to define you. Guess what? Paralysis through analysis. Have you ever heard that? All that really is a lack of action. Let me leave you with this. When you're feeling anxiety, Tony Robbins said this all. Change your state of mind. How do you do that? Sounds easy. Something bad just happened. Really bad. I don't have an answer for it. Change your state of mind. Go for a walk. Breathe some air. Remember, you have an opportunity right now to define yourself for the rest of the year. You have the opportunity to go from wherever you're at to wherever you want to be. And by the way, when I give that speech, my son asked, if I asked my son today, my daughter today, what do you remember about your childhood? This is where you're at. This is where you want to be. And cut your arm off, do yoga, it'll grow back.
Was I supposed to have your charge the storm
Yeah.
thing on?
So here's the last. Sorry. Bless you. I don't give a shit. You shouldn't give a shit.
Sorry, it's okay.
All right, so here's the thing about real estate. I want you all to remember, while you're stressed, these are the 3 places you are in your life at any given moment. Going in, you're going into the storm. If you're going to be in action, you're going to be intentional. You're going into the storm, you're in the storm, or you're out of this, coming out of the storm. But guess what? When you get out here, if you're busy, that's how this works. Because this is a must if you're in action. You have to be this. Because if you're not this, then you're not doing anything. If you are in this business, you are always going to be doing this. Why? Because we do this for a living.
Problem solving.
For those on Zoom that can see your board.
Yeah,
It's
too
fine.
bad. You come to the office. And I'll talk longer. It's just good. Problem solving is what we do for a living. So when you're like, God, that client sucks. Man, that agent's an ass. A lot of those out there, man, they don't know anything. What's for the agent to close that deal? And. Yeah, and if it wasn't for all of those challenges and more, we wouldn't be paid 6%. So embrace the suck and know that you're worthy, you're capable, and you're flexible. Flexible being the key. If you're a rigid person, this isn't a business for you. Get the hell out before you die. Be flexible, be resourceful, be capable, be professional, but most importantly, just know who you are and don't let others define you and don't let your mistakes define you. Because that'll sink you in this business. Everybody makes them, everybody gets through them, and flush it, move on. Okay? Mindset's important. Mindset, mental fitness, okay? Okay?
There's a whole lot of t-shirts in there.
We should just start creating those, just like t-shirts made by Russ. Yeah.
Oh, by the way, in fear of failure, if fear of failure is the mother of procrastination, then perfectionism is the father. Perfectionism is BS. Let it go. Done is better than perfect. Just do it.
Another shirt.
Yeah.
It's better than perfect. I told you, there's a whole bunch of shirts.
Yeah, we should literally start just making them.
I'll start writing down the guys I think. Yeah.
Just sell them on the internet. Sounds great. Well, we have Sharon today to tell us good things. Hello.
How's it going? Michael's on vacation this week.
Oh, good for him.
Yeah, he's on a boat somewhere, probably on Chelan with his girlfriend and his family, so they're having a good time. So happy to be seeing you guys again. It's been a little bit, so hope everyone's summer's going by. It's flying by. It's August 1st. What the heck happened? Like, where did July go? But anyway, yeah, good to see you guys. And Russ, great stuff. Yeah, you could definitely take all that stuff and create memes and t-shirts. And I love the buffalo. PrimeLending, we have the buffalo is our logo. His name's Mo, stands for momentum. So just on Russ's, following up what Russ is saying, just having that momentum. Sometimes for me, I just have to keep doing the things, even though I don't feel like doing them, calling the leads, following up on people, just almost robotic, just doing it like we need to work out and do all those things. It's hard because sometimes I just don't feel like doing that. But yeah, good reminder to stay charged the course, keep going forward. The ones that do are going to see the results. Every time I lean into something, calling one of you guys, for example, or calling any agents and just checking in, there's always that resistance of, oh, I don't want to be asking for another, they know I'm here if we need to do a loan, but often when you call people, that's when energy is created and things start happening. So you just never know. So on that note, I thought it would be cool just to do a little quick brainstorm. What I would like you guys to do is unmute yourselves and participate here real quick. We're going to make a quick list of objections. Why are people not buying right now? Go. Just shout it out and I'll write it down.
Interest rates.
Yeah.
Inventory.
Inventory,
Houses are too expensive.
prices,
Don't want to sell their house with a mortgage at 2.5.
That's what I was gonna say.
well, okay, what else?
Bought that $80,000 truck during escrow. Sure, down.
House, okay, yep. What else?
I can't afford it without even talking to a lender first to see if they can.
So pre-thinking, talking themselves out of it before they really know all the facts, maybe?
Yeah.
Yep, okay. What about, I'm gonna change jobs and I think I need to be on my job for at least 2 years. Okay, so I have to put 20% down and I don't have it. You guys heard that one?
Yeah.
Uncertainty in the market, uncertainty with the world, uncertainty, with a lot of different things. That's a big one too. Anything else in anyone's hearing?
My credit sucks.
I think interest rates are gonna come down again.
Waiting for home prices to drop.
For homes and rates to drop. That's a biggie. That's probably the biggest. All right, good. Well, we've got a good little list here. And so I'm going to give you guys a script that you can use on any of these. Obviously, there's things you can say in and of each one of these specifically to help people maybe get over those objections. And, and sometimes people just won't be able to do what they want to do, because reality is rates are a little higher. And if the seller isn't willing to pay any credits to buy it down or get it into like a 2-1 or a 1-1 buy down, sometimes those payments are just too high. But one of the things you can say to someone, no matter what they say and when they say it, whether they say it at your buyer consultation, at a showing, on the phone, whatever it is, you can say this. first you want to empathize with them. People want to know that you heard what they said. So always empathize, repeat back what they said. It sounds like rates are really important to you. It sounds like down payment is something you've been thinking about. It sounds like prices are concerning to you. It sounds like, selling your home is kind of a worry that you've been thinking about because of, you're at 2.75 and rates are not at that. It sounds like, you're considering some job changes. All you have to do is say that. It empathizes with them. They immediately feel like you heard them. Think about that when you share something and someone says, gosh, it sounds like you're really stressed out. That's a bummer that you're going through that. Or yeah, I can see why you are concerned about rates. They are high right now. Once you empathize with whatever they just said, then you want to say this. Sounds like rates are really concerning to you. Did you know that there's been a lot of changes on things and strategies that we can do to possibly get your payments down to where you want them to be? No, I didn't realize that. Well, can I have my lender give you a call and go over some of these strategies? Because you may be surprised. Let's talk about the credit part. Well, my credit needs to be worked on. I don't think I qualify. Well, it sounds like credit's really important to you. Did you realize that there's been a lot of changes with credit recently that you may not need the score that you think you need? There's a lot of options for people with all credit scores. Is it okay if I have my lender give you a call? You can pretty much do that on any objection. And there's pretty much a strategy on any of these objections, right? You guys know this. You guys talk about training. Russ is really good about sharing training. You have a plethora of training and scripts and all the things. And so I guess I just wanted to encourage you guys in this market where we're doing the grind and we're doing the things and people are starting to just resist and the Fed just raised the rate again. It's tough. It's like you're running this marathon and it never ends, right? So I guess just keep doing the things, keep encouraging people that there's strategies, that there's options for people's credit, for people's down payment. You guys know, and if you don't know and you need an idea, give me a call, give Michael a call. We have scripts coming out of our ears of things that we say that we continuously get people off the fence. I'm going to share one real quick one with you this morning. So I'm going to share my screen and show you one thing here. Not that, that's Cabo. All right, let's see. Let's see here. So you guys have all seen our cost of waiting. Cost of waiting presentation. I just want to share this again. And the reason why is because it is getting lots of buyers off the fence. We are still closing and still one of the top teams in PrimeLending in the nation right now, because we're having these conversations with buyers, getting them off the fence, helping them restructure their budgets, maybe refinancing, paying off a bill, combining debt so that they can afford the payment that they need to afford. Because what's going to happen when rates come down?
Mhm.
Resolve
Want to buy.
It'll be a feeding frenzy, bidding wars.
prices.
Prices will go up.
Prices, offers, multiple offers, escalation clauses, kind of like we saw in 2020 and 2021. So what we're trying to do is help people see that if they wait, that they're going to probably pay more in their payment. So here's 3 options. We've got current.
Hold on 1 second. Do I need to stop mine so hers shows up?
Oh, yeah.
It says I'm sharing.
That Laura, I know I'm just doing stuff wrong. Lauren is truly the tech trainer, like deep down, I feel, and I just have the title of it now. I just have to ask him questions all the time. Okay, we're good now.
Okay, perfect. So the first column is currently at a $600,000 house at 7 1/4. Now, these are just estimates, but if let's say someone waits 6 months and let's say rates drop from 7 1/4 to 6 1/4. Now you'd think that the payment would go down, but we all know that as soon as there's a little itty bitty tick of rates coming down, you can all feel the increased activity, the increased phone calls, the increased offers, the increased interest. People are watching and waiting so more eagerly than they've ever been, I think, in our industry that I've seen, because they're just waiting and, they're not selling until the rates come down, and then they're going to sell and then they're going to buy, and it's going to be like crazy. So prices are gonna go up. So if someone waits 6 months, rates drop a point, but now they're competing with all the other people wanting that same $600,000 house that could go up to maybe 650, 700. I mean, these are just estimates, but it shows the point that prices are gonna go up even though rates come down. Let's wait 9 months. Let's say rates drop another point, like down into 5.25. Now that same house that was 600 might be 758. I mean, this happened a couple years ago where people were just paying 100 grand or 50 grand over just to get the house. Especially if they're sitting on equity in their house, that could be a thing. But let's say they buy now, which is the fourth column, and get that price at 600, and then they refinance at 5.25 later. That is the lowest payment out of all of these. So you got 3,700, maybe they have to bite the bullet at 4,400. I know these payments sound insanely high, and they are. But if someone's in the price point of 6, 7, 800,000, most of my clients can afford these. They're just not wanting to, which is obviously a thing. But when you show them the numbers and they really want a house, and you show them, hey, if you buy now and refi later, you're better off than waiting until rates drop. So, and here's why. And then you show them this, they're gonna go, oh my God, I did not realize what could happen. So maybe I do want to put an offer in. So we can customize this to any buyer, any price range, any scenario. Send me the emails on what you guys want. You all have buyers that are waiting. So send me the emails, or Michael and I can structure these and create your own personal cost of waiting. And you can send these out. This is something you can do to generate energy. You can do this to help yourself feel better, like you're doing something to educate your clients. Even if they don't move forward, it will feel good that you're doing something to provide value. Hopefully this is valuable to you guys as well. I know I've shared it before, but I think more than ever, it applies. Do you guys have any questions on this?
Nope, you're great.
Are they still doing the like 1 year refinance? Are you guys still doing that, Sharon? I don't know if you can hear me from back here.
Yeah, it's a reduced cost refi, but through December of 2024.
Okay.
So, and we're also giving away our free security systems with all of our transactions right now. So that is another benefit. And then this client just decided to move forward finally on their transaction. This is a house locally here. I'm going to share this one and then I'll let you guys go back to your day, but I feel like this is of good value.
Sharon, could you send that to Ashley to send out to us just as an example, just so that we've got some template?
The cost of waiting one?
Yeah.
Yep, I will send it.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's got a little video that'll pop up when you click it on your end, so you can listen to it. It's just a generic explanation of the presentation. And then I can change the numbers if you want.
Thank you.
Okay, and then this one here, this house has been listed at 889,500 for about 20 days. My clients have been watching and watching and watching this house, and they, really want it, but they didn't want their payments to be where they were going to be. So what we did was I showed them 4 options, and the price, I guess, is about to be reduced to this 855. And so they're thinking, well, maybe we'll just get it for cheaper. So what I did was I showed them full price with the price reduction as a seller credit, because they're going to do the price reduction, which is 34,500. So rather than go to the 855 with no seller credit, which you can see right here, the 889 with the seller credit gets them down to 5.99 with a payment of 4,500 a month, versus 855 with no seller credit. They're at 7 1/8 at 4,800, which is too high for them. They are not comfortable with that. Then I took the 889,500 and did a 2-1 buy down. So the first year they'd be at 4.75, the second year 5.75. Look at that payment of 4,000 a month the first year, 4,400 the second year, and then as my crystal ball might show, which doesn't show, if rates come down, they could refi before getting to that third and final years, which would be 6.75. So again, just a strategy. They are moving forward with this strategy. They're going to do the full price with the 34,000 seller credit. So again, it's just about getting people these numbers in front of them, because if they just think they're just generically pre-approved with their basic pre-approval, they may not move forward. So get creative. We have tools to help you guys be creative. So just let us know and we'll get it done for you.
Thanks. And I think that's important too, of like always calling the listing agent to find out that they were gonna do that price reduction. Because if you don't call, you're not gonna know until it, happens. And yeah, just calling is always a good idea.
Yeah, call also, I mean, it had been on the market for 20 days, so definitely some room for some seller credit. And seller credit is always going to get you a bigger bang for your buck, more than a price reduction.
Sweet, thanks, Sharon.
Guys,
And we're probably gonna go like 15-20 minutes over today. Which, I mean, if you guys are fine with that, it's important stuff. So again, the Northwest MLS office is moving, and then now they also take American Express for your payments. Which, yeah, if you have that, you can call to set up auto pay now instead of filling out that form before, which is also a big benefit. So. So we have Lois is going to talk about a listing, and then we're also going to highlight Sydney's broker's tour that's going on tomorrow. So after that, if you guys have more listings you want to talk about, then we can do that. But Lois is up first.
Thank you. So I have a listing here in Quincy. It is at 1013 Hilltop in the Paradise Flats, phase 4. It's a 2017 home, which is about 1,600 square feet, 3-bed, 2-bath. If you're familiar with the area, I'm not sure. And it has an extra bonus room, which they don't usually have in this phase 4. So it's a little bit unusual. 2-car garage attached, as you can see, but the sellers took immaculate care of the outdoor area. And if you look at the homes around it, most of them are not finished on the outside. And so they put the beautiful fencing. They've got a gazebo back there, but the seller, her lifetime job was to create this garden around the house. And I mean, it is spectacular. It's beautiful. Gazebo, outdoor shed, raised garden beds. It's a really nice, well taken care of home, both in and out. 435 is what they're asking. And just so you know, the sellers are going to be moving as soon as they, back to the Philippines. So they're open to any and all offers that potentially could be made on this home. And if anyone has any questions, let me know. But thank you.
Says she can make a financing flyer for you. And yeah, if you're interested. And then Brooke said, congrats. Yay.
Oh, thanks. Thanks. Okay, thanks, Sharon.
And then this is Sydney's brokers open tomorrow. Yeah, this house looks gorgeous already from the outside, so I'm excited. I feel like the last 3 weeks I've just driven an hour to go to all of these things. Went to Emily's thing, and then yeah, so I'll come to yours too. And you're being way too nice. Everybody's gonna get a Starbucks gift card. That shows up.
This house, like, gotta treat in person.
Mhm.
It is awesome. Photos, good as a photo bar.
Anybody else? Everybody from. Well, it starts at 11. I am probably, yeah, I'm teaching stuff. 11 to 2. Yeah, I can go before I'm doing this. Yeah. What is the address? Sarah, there's the address right there. And I'll email that out in the notes. Well, actually, we don't send out the notes till on Friday. Anyways, it's right there.
Perfect, thanks.
Okay, this is our bigger topic of the Do Not Call Telephone Consumer Protection Act. It's a big thing. I've been reading, the National Association of Realtors has, you know, some like legal articles on it of how like the law changed in 2003 and a bunch of stuff. So if you really look at the law of it to be compliant, everybody needs to register on the Do Not Call registry in the telemarketer section so that you can choose, they let you choose up to 5 zip codes for free or area codes for free. And so you just choose your 5 area codes and you can download the list of all of the phone numbers that are on the Do Not Call list. And it has a way you can do a phone number lookup as well. But without doing that, I mean, technically on paper, which I'm saying follow the law, but I'm just telling you stuff. We can't even call for sale by owners if they're on the Do Not Call list. We can if we're like, you know, interested in a buyer that's interested. But if we're calling to try to get the listing, technically we can't call them if they're on the Do Not Call. So that's something that I didn't really know about. Yeah, if you have a buyer that's interested, that's different. I'm going there wanting to see it for that. But if you're strictly calling of like, oh, are you considering listing with realtor? You're risking that chance of the seller on the other side getting, I mean, I'm sure the chances of getting sued and stuff is like probably little, but protect yourself.
Well, there's attorneys. Often people in real estate have attorneys for spouses.
So I have a question about that. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, sorry, Russ, you probably couldn't hear Russ. What's your question?
I listened to the other KW group that you sent me the link to do the role play stuff on this morning. And right after that, listened to another thing, but they were talking about, it was Rob Tucker talking about contacting expired leads and just, you know, the market that's there, but there was no mention of that. And they were talking about expired leads that were, or listings that were like 1 year to 2 years old. So does the Do Not Call still apply to that?
It does. I have a cheat sheet I can send everybody that goes over like what you can do and what you should be cautious of and what you can't do when it comes to expired and canceled. And then also when it comes to FSBOs. And KW has a nice website. This is a screenshot from their website to where you can click that button of does this apply? Because the TCPA is different than Do Not Call. So it's not just like if you're using artificial voice or like auto dialers. So they have this, you know, kind of pointers of, you know, if you're calling and using an artificial voice or pre-recorded message, does this apply? You know, if yes, go to here. And what they say once you get to the 3rd and 4th step is prior written consent is required to make telemarketing calls and text to personal telephone numbers on a Do Not Call list. So Do Not Call is different than the TCPA.
And I have that actually saved that I will email out to everybody today so that you have
Okay.
it.
Yeah, I have some other things too, so we'll just send it at the same time.
Okay.
Because what's crazy is if you really look at the actual law to it, it says even if you have written consent from the moment that they consent, you technically can only call them for 3 months, which I had never heard about because we know with like internet leads, it takes a while of kind of warming them up. So it's really, if somebody says, do not call me, whether it's verbal or in a text or anything, don't call them if you want to be safe, which we should all be safe. So, And when it comes to registering on the do not call, it's, I think, donotcall.gov. And then it has, at the bottom, there's another link to go to like the telemarketer registration part of it. And it just has a big questionnaire. And after that, you choose your area codes, and everybody should be registered. Just so they say that you should download the list like at least every month. I got real nerdy about it, so I'll just send you all the stuff. But if you need help, we've gone over that once in the tech class, but if there's enough people that want to go over it live, then we can do that. So
Yeah, it's a pretty big deal. On
be
the
safe.
on the growth code, there's been a lot of lawsuits in the huge dollar amounts, and KWI is no longer going to be covering those. They'll be passing them down. So we really want to be careful.
Yeah. And really, it's like, we have so many brokers that work in different areas. It's, you know, you guys being able to do it yourself to choose the area codes that matter to you where you're doing business. That's why everybody should register themselves, because, you know, there's many different area codes that you guys would be working in. And if you want more area codes than that, I think it's like $65 per area code. Or if you want them for like the whole United States, it's like $23,000. Is nutty. Yeah, I mean, we don't need that. But anyways, big stuff. First American Title's doing a free, oh, I didn't know I did the Zoomy thing. A complimentary 3-hour clock hour class Thursday over pretty much, yeah, fraud prevention of what sellers are doing and all the crazy weird stuff that stupid people do. So if you're interested, Ryan Baxter, you guys probably got an email from him. But if not, I can get you his info. Russ is teaching things. Yeah, just generic. Does anybody want to go over something specific tomorrow? And if not, I can spitball it again. I'm gonna see if we can like alternate it and do like a script practice every other week. Just also gives me time to prepare for things, so I'm not spitballing it as much. But we'll get there. Mega Agent Camp. That's coming up. That's coming up real quick.
Yeah.
2 weeks. Brokers tour, so I'm not gonna do the 9 a.m. thing because I'm gonna drive to Sydney's. So, but everybody should go. Preview your houses. And I think I had something else. Oh, so contracts class, Marcia is still sick. So I'm going to take over contracts class, but we're going to go over something different. So it seems like a lot of people have issues with the opportunities and commission part in Command, or even saving your contracts as an individual PDF, like splitting documents. And I feel like everybody struggles with that.
Actually, can I interrupt for a second?
Yeah.
Those who are using DocuSign to do it, I don't know how they're doing it, but for some reason, when I go in to try to upload your final settlement statement or something, it's telling me I don't have permission to get into your room. So
And that's, yeah, with DocuSign, the way to always do everything is just save the whole contract as a PDF. And then whether you have a Mac or a Windows thing, I just go print PDF. I mean, page 1 through 6, Form 21, 7 through 9.
I
is
can't help them
financing.
upload anything.
Yeah, so there's a way, I'll go over that today, to where instead of, you know, in Command, you can do, you know, DocuSign upload, or you just do from my computer upload. And if you put it as PDFs, I mean, that seems like the simplest way to do it. So I'm going to go over saving stuff correctly, putting it in commissions, the kind of weird little things. And I'm going to record it too, so I can send it out to people.
Thank you.
Yes. Any questions from any peoples? And for doing that, I'm going to end this Zoom and start a new one so I can record it as a separate thing. We got done on time. Look at that, guys. Oh, and Kathy's listing her house went pending.
Yay!
Yay. Was it someone in her office to where we highlighted it last week? And was that, no? Maybe not?
No, it's a local person and she's in a similar situation as to when I bought my house. So it's a wonderful thing. So when she sells her house up, her house is pending in Sunny Slope. And so she's gonna use the cash to buy this one, and downside, so I'm excited.
Nice, congrats. Okay, goodbye, everybody. Maybe see you in 5 minutes.
Take care, y'all.
You too, bye.